President Trump just announced that going to church is now considered essential. I thought that happened in 1776.
They're using fascist tactics to shut down free speech here in America. They are the real fascists, you can tell. Just take one look at them.
They want to destroy our very way of life. And if you wanted to fight, well, you've got one.
Hey, what's going on, Gab TV? I wanted to do a quick stream here about the January 6th meandering, the insurrection that wasn't. Specifically, Brandon Straka, the founder of the Walkaway campaign. He is pleading guilty to charges at the January 6th. I think he's pleading guilty for a reduced sentence. He is mainly caught because he posted a video of himself. Here's a screenshot of that video you can see here. He posted a video of himself at the Capitol, and on the video he's heard saying things like, "Go, go, go," urging the crowd to wrest away a shield from a police officer and shouting, "Take it, take it," behind a crowd of people pushing their way in, yelling, "Go, go, go." And he also has several tweets that say things like, "We're going in," and at one point he's telling patriots, "Hold the line." Another tweet that I think deleted all these tweets. He said, "I was quite close to entering myself as police began tear gassing us from the door." He is pleading guilty for a reduced sentence, maximum $5,000 fine, and a maximum of 6 months in jail. But also he's cooperating with the FBI and giving them access to his social media posts. Provide any evidence that could help officials in their investigation, including social media posts, according to the plea agreement. Hey, Brandon, I got news for you. You don't have to give them access to your social media. They already have it. If you were on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google, any of those services during the protests, during any activity that you're doing, they have access to it already. And here is an article from Wired. It says how a secret Google geofence warrant helped catch the Capitol riot mob. A Wired investigation has found 45 federal criminal cases that cite Google geolocation data to place suspects inside the U.S. Capitol during the January 6th riot. And a lot of people were tracked down using this location data that's on your phone. If you have an Android phone or an iPhone with Google logged in, then you have this on your phone. You're being tracked already. And this Alex Jones was called a conspiracy theorist for talking about this kind of stuff where people are being tracked and they're tracking us all the time. Here's an opinion from the New York Times. They stormed the Capitol. Their apps tracked them. Times opinion was able to identify individuals from a trove of leaked smartphone location data. The other big thing is these big tech companies are completely staffed with Democrats. You have limited resistance in those companies of conservative or right-leaning people, patriots that work inside those companies, but for the most part, they are staffed with activist Democrats. And so when things are leaked, how convenient that things are just leaked after the event. FBI uses Google location data to ensnare alleged Capitol Hill rioter. And this definitely isn't the only person. The other thing that happened is that people who post on their Facebooks and stream on their Facebook or post things on their Twitter during the Capitol protest, they had their friends and family, people who are on the other side of the aisle, but still have access to their accounts, rat them out. They had people screenshotting their photos and videos and tipping off the FBI. You had people reporting, you had kids reporting their parents. You had kids reporting their grandparents that were there and turning in their own family members to the FBI for participating. People whose faces probably weren't visible, but had posted on their own social media, and their family turns them in. So these phones that everybody's carrying around, these are the things that are being used to take us out. They're using our own devices against us. And you don't have to give access to the FBI for them to have the information they need. They've already got the information. They've got the information through leaks and through secret warrants, and they already have access to all of that stuff. So if you're attending any of these protests, maybe you shouldn't be taking your phone with you. You shouldn't be taking your digital leash that's being used against us, your tracking device. I'm just going to take my GPS track, my ankle bracelet. That's like that's like being put on house arrest and then going and committing a crime wearing your ankle bracelet. They don't need a warrant. They don't to be able to get the information. They already have the information. We provided it to them willingly by carrying around these devices in our pockets. So I think that's interesting that Brandon is pleading guilty And a lot of people are saying, oh, he's cooperating and ratting out people. And that's why he's, pleading guilty for a reduced sentence. He's talking to them and ratting out. Well, it's already happened. People are already being ratted out by their family members. The Google is already tracking everything we're doing and turning that information over to the government. So definitely think twice about carrying around this digital tracker in your pocket if you're doing something like going to one of these counter protests. But we need to not let up. We can't let this be an excuse to censor us, to be preventing us from speaking out at our school board meetings. Just because Merrick Garland declared us all terrorists, that doesn't mean we can stop. We have to keep going. We have to speak up louder, and we have to take over our city and state governments from the ground up, or we can forget about who's in the White House in D.C. Attending the Capitol protest was totally pointless. All it did was provide fuel for the fire. We need to focus on our school boards, focus on our state governments and our city governments, and forget about D.C. until we can take over at the local level. That's all I've got. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to turn off your location data if you're ever going to the Capitol again.